Hello to all. It's great to be back. I was on earlier. Um, I'm Adrienne Schulten. I'm with the California Alliance of Child and Family Services, and we represent 165 nonprofit community-based organizations in California that are serving our most vulnerable children and youth and families. And I have the distinct honor of introducing our next speaker to all of you, who is Assemblymember Christopher Ward. He was first elected to our California State Assembly in 2020. And in California, he represents our 78th Assembly District, which includes San Diego and El Cajon. And at the California Alliance, we have had the pleasure of seeing firsthand Assemblymember Ward's commitment to the issues that we most care about. So including LGBTQ plus communities, affordable housing, ensuring that our vulnerable youth, including foster youth, have the support that they need to thrive, and reforming school discipline as well. Assemblymember Ward also co-chairs our California Legislative LGBTQ Caucus in California and is a true public servant. So thank you so much, Assemblymember Ward, for joining today and giving remarks on our Pride Zoomathon.
Awesome. Adrienne, thanks so much for that wonderful intro, and for everybody that organized today. Thank you for including me as well. It's great to be here. I know it's such a spirited event for a lot of the champions for a lot of our rainbow families like mine. Your commitment, of course, it's really the heartbeat of the movement. Seeing so many people gathered here, it definitely reminds me about why this work matters so deeply. As Adrienne mentioned, I'm proud to represent the 78th Assembly District, serving San Diego, but also I'm the chair of the California Legislative LGBTQ Caucus. So we have 14 of the 120 legislators in the California legislature that identify as a member of our community. We are widely represented, but not fully represented. We have not yet first elected our an out transgender member of the community. We had a real close call, and we got really close last cycle, and we'll continue to look for great local talent to join us here in an election soon to come. But I think it's a great day that we're all here together. I know that this is today, the 10th anniversary of Obergefell. Was there in Washington, coincidentally, for a conference the day that landmark decision was decided that cemented marriage equality as the law of the land and unlocked a very new era of possibility for all those who simply wanted to be able to build what every family wants. They want recognition, they want dignity, they just want a chance to be able to have a life together equally. And that's what our caucus has really been struggling towards, not just marriage equality, but the range of issues that matter to the LGBTQ community. So we've been working really closely in California here. I'm glad to see that there's such a good group across the nation here, maybe curious about how we're navigating these times. Certainly, it's been decades of work on bold protections, knowing that a lot of our families today now are under fresh assaults on their health care, on their privacy, on even the very basic freedom to exist, or the governmental decision on whom they can love. It's fearful, and we definitely hear that fear. We hear a lot of the fatigue, and so we are doing what we need to do here with action. We are working around the clock, around the year, to address a lot of the attacks that are coming against our community, and are really trying to diligently advance a lot of intentional bills that are going to help give or deliver a lot of the protections that Californians are asking for, but also to be able to support California's safe haven status. Last year, the governor signed one of our priority bills, SB 729, and that helped to cover the cost of IVF and ensure that the family building process is not exclusive only to heterosexual couples. And also last year, we had Proposition 3 passed by the voters to enshrine marriage equality rights into our state constitution. This would ensure that LGBTQ couples are able to safeguard their marriage from future attacks. If attacks on Obergefell, for example, were ever successful, like attacks on Roe v. Wade at this U.S. Supreme Court. And we know that there are early court cases right now that we fear in a year or two may rise to that level. This year, we were advancing a lot of bills to be able to support our families. We have, I think, Senate Bill 405 to be able to help safeguard the confirmatory adoption process so that parent-child ties are secure from day one. And also Senate Bill 590, this will help to afford family paid leave for chosen families, recognizing that LGBTQ households often rely on, very long relationships, every bit as those that are defined by blood. The work that we do, our legislation, we know it's vital, but so is our lived experience. And that's why we serve the communities that we do across a lot of initiatives. For instance, last legislative session, we launched our first ever LGBTQ Caucus scholarship program, handed out nearly $150,000 to LGBTQ college students across California. They are deserving of it. They are certainly in need of it. We know the struggles that they go through as both students and members of our community, and we're happy to add a little bit of support and make their life a little bit better so that they weren't having to choose between being able to buy food, be able to buy course materials, or being able to successfully navigate their education. Additionally, our caucus, we're the only caucus that we know of in all of the California diversity caucuses to launch a rural tours initiative to really get out, not just at the Capitol in Sacramento, but also get out of West Hollywood, out of San Francisco, out of my home community of Hillcrest, and make sure that we're visiting community members that are often overlooked and underrepresented. We know in major urban areas that we've got leaders and we've got organizations and we've got members of our community, and they often have a seat at the table when it comes to political funding or state funding or political representation. But we know California is a big state. If you haven't been here, don't really know, it's not all about the coast, and it's not all about these wonderful urban cities. There's wonderful rural communities as well, and nobody should have to choose between leaving a town that has been their origin and their community just because there's not a very strong network there. They deserve to be treated as equals in their home communities, but also deserve the attention and the resources to make sure that their needs are met and that we're not just serving through centers in these more urbanized areas. We want to know that, in lieu of anybody that might represent them, they always have a voice and an advocate here in the Capitol as well. And I think that was heard very loud and clear. One of those stops was in Salinas Valley last fall, and we learned about their community's Family Acceptance Project and their efforts to be able to help families come to acceptance on their own terms. And that local validation, that local effort, I think is really making a difference because that is a organization really founded in that community. And I think that validates a lot of the work that we're doing to others that just maybe not have ever engaged with somebody who is LGBT. But those efforts also help fuel a lot of the policies that we write and a lot of the budget priorities that we are looking out for. We have a lot of work to do. We recognize the progress that we've made, but we know that it's fragile. We've seen how courts are shifting. Federal government can do what it's doing. Legislatures elsewhere in other states are rolling back rights. So that's why a lot of your advocacy that you're working on in hearings, on social media, kitchen tables, amongst conversations with neighbors, it's just as crucial today as it was years ago, and it will be crucial for years into the future. Every current and prospective parent who is navigating the adoption paperwork, and I've been there, to every grandparent fighting for their trans grandchild's future, every ally willing to lift your voice. You do have partners here in Sacramento who are there to support you and who won't back down. And on behalf of our 14-member LGBTQ caucus, you have our commitment that California will remain a safe haven and a pathway to parenthood and defend every child's right to grow up in a family that's built on love. So if you ever need help, if it's a legislative fix, for support with any of our state departments, or even just a listening ear, or figuring out how do we do something here and you want to do it in Maryland or New York or Kansas, please don't hesitate to reach out to me in my office. Our open doors are there to be able to assure you that we can connect you with those resources and provide you with at least a little bit of moral support, but hopefully with some good guidance that can help to reflect and replicate some of the great work that we've done here. I think that's how we're going to be able to ensure that future decades are not going to be defined by any rollbacks, but by making sure that every family of every color of the rainbow is supported and reflected in the work that we do. I want to thank you again for organizing today, and I want to keep with you building a lot of futures, one joyful family at a time.
Yeah, thank you so much, Assemblymember Ward. Very glad that you joined us today. It's been a pleasure to have you. We've got folks on the live stream as well as in the webinar, and folks who will be watching this later at home. So grateful to you to take the time to speak with all of us. I also want to give a shout out to the fantastic purple suit you were wearing the other day that I
Thank you.
really where I can get because it was so good. But thank you very much for being with us. We appreciate you taking the time. And thank you, Adrian, as well, for introducing our wonderful California state speakers. So have a great rest of your day. And we're going to move on to our next speakers.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.